Hello, guys. Hello, everyone out there, man, and welcome back. Thanks for joining us if it's your first time. Willie the Realtor here. I am super excited because I'm a local realtor in DFW, and I have so many conversations with friends, family members about starting the home buying process, all these different questions, and I always say, just talk to a lender. That's always what I say. So I'm so happy to have my good friend, partner in crime, Miss Glenda White from Verity Mortgage. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm so glad to be here. You know why?
Why?
It is springtime.
Yes,
the sun's out.
Yes.
The birds are chirping.
Yes.
And we're getting into summer, and I love summer.
Summer is great. People are thinking, that's when the market gets a little crazier. People are buying and selling. And it's so good to have you because a lot of people are intimidated to just pick up the phone and call you about just questions about buying a home.
Right.
So today this video is really going to be for people who have questions about specific topics. And we're going to try to keep this ongoing, but I think it's a really good thing. And I'm just happy to have you here. And tell them a little bit about yourself. I mean, I know we talk, I know you like that, but for the new people who don't know you, can you tell them a little bit about like how long you've been doing it, your passion for mortgages, and the headache that it brings?
It is. So yeah, again, thank you for having me here. The passion is I've been doing this. I like to call it from the dawn of time, but really it's not. So we're going to use the word countrywide because everybody knows where countrywide originated from.
Awesome.
But I never knew it was going to be my passion. I think that's what's really crazy. I started out in finance. I started out as administrative. But there was just something of being the administrative back in Bank of America days, Countrywide days, that just hearing everybody just go through the process of, shoot, I can make it happen. Like, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And so I jumped into this in 2008, 2006. Yep. See, we're going to date it back.
Go back.
2008 is when I actually started originating.
Nice.
And of course, we all know 8, 9, and 10 happened. And so Bank of America at that time bought out Countrywide.
Yes.
And then at that time, we kind of were put where we needed to be put. So we went to modifications. So we were educated on the Making Home Affordable program that came out in 2009.
So you saw it all. You've been in the trenches for a while.
I've been in the trenches, and I think that's what helps me when we have struggles and hurdles on the lending is because I've seen post-closing. I've seen modifications. It's not just the one side of it. We've seen the processing side. So it really helps us dive down deep and figure out the pain points of our clients to help struggles because there's no loan. Believe it or not, that's the same.
Right.
No matter who you are, no matter what you do, there is no loan that is the same.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's why since we've worked together, the one thing they don't teach you in real estate school or just for agents is the value of a great lender, someone who's educated, someone who's going to be in a fight with you. And you have been more than that for me. And I just really want to advocate that to all the realtors out there. Yeah. Find you a good lender, build a relationship, because learning more about the mortgage and what actually goes on behind the scenes can help you communicate with your client better, help you understand the process and work as a team and not feel like you're working against each other in a way. So thank you so much for all the education and stuff. But we're going to jump right into it because I feel like this is a hot topic, a hot button, because all first-home buyers, this is what motivates them. This is what drives them. They hear these few words, down payment assistance. They hear those words. And they said, "I'm getting a house this year." We just want to talk about the goods and bad. That's what this video is predominantly about because we want to really break it down so they have a full understanding of what down payment assistance is about. Because that is when I bought my first home, I heard about it. It got my ears tweaking. So I was like, "Hey, I want some free money." So let's talk about free money.
Oh, there it
is. And is there really such thing as free money? So we can start whatever you want, the goods or the bads of it. But I am very curious to understand this process and you to break it down for us.
All right, so we're just going to dive into it because no money is free.
There you go.
That's first and foremost, maybe. That's the first con is with every good comes the bad.
There you go.
For the down payment assistance. So as consumers, when we see zero down free mortgage, that's just it's a click phrase to get you to go. So goods, it's not free money, but they do offer up to 5%. On all the loans that we look at. Okay. And there's a lot of them in Dallas, Fort Worth that we have certified. We do TDHCA, we do Seth, we do TSHAC. So the goods of it is, yes, is there money involved that could help with down payment assistance? Absolutely.
Sure.
So that's first and foremost. Let's just go ahead and put that.
Okay.
So the goods of the bads, because that's the good. The bad is it costs money. Yeah. Because there are compliance fees. remember on these programs, no lender sets the interest rate.
Right.
I think that's the biggest driver of, hey, I want the market interest rate.
Right.
Well, think about it as, I think about it as like Black Friday. When all these sales are going on.
Right.
When you really look at the price tag on Black Friday, they've actually increased the price. If you've ever looked at that. So pro tip, before you go shop on Black Friday, look and see the
price
the
before.
pre-price,
Yeah.
and then the post price. Most of the time, they're the same price.
Yeah.
And so it's not really a sell of a sell. And think about that when you go to down payment assistance, is you're getting money on this side, but on this side, the rate could be, we've seen lately 0.5%. It could be 0.75%. And it really is going to drive your monthly payment up as well.
And when you're talking percentage, just for the ones listening that may not, we talk the interest rate. So
the actual interest rate.
So that's the money that you're paying back for your loan that you'll have a higher monthly note. So you're getting money in the beginning, but you'll be hitting it more on the back end.
You
pretty
will.
much. Okay.
And then there's two different programs. There's a second lien, which is a bond. One is a 3-year forgivable. So when you forgive something, as long as you stay in your home for 3 years, at the 37th month, it's forgiven.
Okay, good.
Some have a 5-year forgivable program. But again, you can't buy or sell within the first 5 years.
Right.
Because if you do that, you have to repay it.
Pay it back. So now, it's not free money.
So now it's not free money.
Right.
And so not only are you getting a higher interest rate that they set, you're getting program fees, and then you're also getting a second lien on your property, which is called a silent second mortgage. Now, there's no payment on there. But if you sell or refinance in 3 years, you have to pay a percentage of it back.
Wow.
And that's where a lot of the misconception is.
Yeah.
Because it's not free money. The lenders don't set it, and there's fees that go along with it. And what we've run into a couple hurdles, Willie, is some require 3 years of tax returns.
Man,
Actual
that is a
tax
good tax. So
returns.
3 years. Some people don't even do their taxes. Can't even find their taxes, let alone, so.
Right. And what happens if we're self-employed and we're like, oh, I didn't file 2017 or now we're going into 2018. Those, again, are not set by the lender. Typically, you only need 2 years.
Taxes is a whole nother video, guys, we're going to have to do.
That's
a whole nother video.
Wait. We're going to make that one happen.
Because that is so crucial to this point. But these are all good points, and these are things that they just don't tell you or You're just going in there to get that free money at all costs. And I think, that's why these conversations are so great. So let me ask you, do lenders, do they like doing down payment assistance? If you're a lender, and we can keep it real, because we're going to keep it real here for them. Do lenders like doing?
No.
Okay.
And again, here's the reason being, is we're working with a third party. Some require the third party to approve the loan before you do. So when we get the loan, per se, we go all the way through the final process. Some programs mandate to go to their underwriters.
Wow.
And sometimes there's a 2 or 3 day period. But we're also working with so again, lending is all about struggles. It's all about hurdles. It's all about how we can keep our squirrel brain into a lane. And we're going to try to keep our squirrel on this path. And when a lender has to go to someone else to do their job, sometimes it gets kind of overwhelming for the client because those are not what we call overlays. So those are not lender restrictions. Those are program restrictions.
So they pretty much had the control out of you guys' hands.
They do.
You take pretty much down right. So so you really can't. You have to put your reputation and your name on the lines of someone else doing their job, and I totally get that, guys. So that is such a key points, because it's almost like you're adding someone else into the loan. So you now, they have their voice, they have their money into it, they're invested into it. So now you have to listen and move how they want to move. So man, that's just really good stuff. I like the idea of the 3-year program, I think, because the average first-time homebuyer is going to stay in the house for 3 years.
3 to 5. It used to be 7.
It used to be 7?
And now it's 3 to 5.
Okay, so they are cutting it down, so that's good.
They
are
are
cutting it down. And that's good for a first-time homebuyer, because I like to tell my clients, stay in the house 5 years. I like to tell them that, get some equity, gain something from it, but you need to understand with these down payment assistance, because you've probably seen people that are asking for down payment assistance that have money.
They do.
So how does that work? How do you combat someone who's got a little money, got a couple accounts stashed away, but they want down payment assistance?
We show them the pros and the cons. Again, as lenders, we're strategists. I like to call ourselves. We show them in dynamic form on Excel spreadsheets, on PDF graphs, and on charts. We let them move the needle of a 3 to 5 year period, and we let them make the choice.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because ultimately, it's the consumer that has to pay their mortgage.
Right.
The lender's not paying the mortgage. And if they're going to be happier with the payment of $90 higher, with a 0.5% more on an interest rate, with the second lien program that has cost against to it just to save their money, then that's what they choose.
All right.
We can't ultimately decide on that.
Gotcha. Okay, so and you just give them all the options.
We do.
And one thing I love about you, and I think since we first met, is we talk about out-of-state lenders to local lenders. You know,
Right.
I know you guys are local, right here in the backyard. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So if you don't know, I'm going to put up her information later, so you guys can definitely reach out. We're going to answer some questions, but you're going to have to call her. We can't give you all the information
No.
over this interview. You got to go pick the phone up. Same as with me. If you need a house, I can give you a little bit, but you got to call me so we can have these real personal conversations. But you know, talk a little bit about the difference in that, like an out-of-state lender to a local. Like, what does a consumer get when working with someone local like yourself and your team?
Yeah, so being hyper-focused on that, it really helps right now on winning that offer. You know, we've had multiple conversations of how do you win the offer in, you know, April 2021 or now May. You know, how do you, as the consumer, win your offer? Well, being hyper-focused in a local lender helps. And the reason being is that listing agent and even the seller can pick up the phone and say, hey, is this client approved?
Right.
What is the status of this? Now, we never want to talk to the seller, but the listing agent can do that. We build reputation in the smaller area to just make it grow. But being hyper-focused on a lender, you know, your taxes. Like, I think that's the biggest one.
That is,
when we're going up
right.
against big banks and big portfolio lenders, we have to see what their tax is. And a lot of time when we get the loan estimate to review apples to apples, their taxes could be $200 or $300 lower a month.
Wow.
So when that happens, Willie, we have higher costs, higher payment, and maybe they don't qualify for that home.
Wow.
So being hyper-focused, it's a game changer.
Game changer, man. That is man, that's a good point. And that's why I said tax is just a whole nother conversation.
It
Because
is.
just, I didn't realize until I started buying homes. I'm like, wow, like it's a big deal. Just as far as how you do them. You know, if you're an entrepreneur, 1099s, you know, all these different things. It just matters when you're buying a home.
It does.
And that is such a good point. But I love the hyper focus, and I love that, you know, they can pick up the phone. I think you're absolutely right. We have done deals where you've been local. The agent, listing agent asked me, is your lender local? I said, yeah, she's right down the street. Go
Right.
talk, go pull up
Right.
on her. So that made it a lot more comfortable. So I love that you guys are local. And if you are thinking about getting a lender out of state, you know, but test your options here at home. We'll say
Absolutely.
that. Test your options here at home.
Hyper-focused.
So before we get out of here, because I think we covered some really good stuff with down payment assistance and really kind of dug in deep there. How do you feel about if someone's watching this and they were thinking about considering getting into buying a home? Like, let's talk about just, you know, they get a pre-approval letter. You know, I got pre-approved. They're looking for a home, but things change after that.
They do.
That's key. Like I've seen a lot of deals where what people have been pre-approved for, or what their status was with their job, their money, their relationships, things. Life changes every day,
Relationship, yes.
right? So it changes every day. So as a client to a lender, like, what should I do next if things change in my life after my pre-approval process and I'm looking for a home and I'm trying to get a home? What would you give us?
Take a deep breath.
Let's
Let's just take a deep breath and let's make that call to the lender.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of, it kind of is like an influence out there of some clients don't want to reach out. Maybe they're scared. Maybe they just don't know. A couple of my clients this week, they're first time home buyers, and believe it or not, they have really good credit. And they were scared to make the phone call because they heard it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not easy.
Not
This
easy,
is your
yeah.
biggest investment. But just take a deep breath, and after you do the pre-approval, call your lender. We've had some times where, and it's crazy. Yes, jobs have changed.
Yeah.
Financial burden of marriages have changed within it. And of course, being in Texas, a community property state, if you
Right.
get married, things change.
Yes.
And
Yes,
if,
it changes.
heavens forbid, if you get a VA, FHA, or USDA loan and you get married in the process, you could lose your approval altogether.
Wow.
So keep the focus of the original pre-approval. If anything changes from the original pre-approval, job, income, household, you know, you go buy a car, it's really funny, Willie. The whole thing of you get a car, we get a car, you want a car.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many clients still go out and will buy a car the week before we close.
Wow.
Or go get a credit card the week before we close.
Man,
and there is so many times that we can say, hey, here's a video, do not do it.
Right.
Hey, here's an email, don't do it. Hey, we're on the phone call. Have you done one of these? No, Miss Glenda. No, Miss Glenda. To come find out. We're gonna find it. I think that's the bigger one. If it's going to happen, we're going to find it.
Right, and I think that's what they need to know. I think so many, and when I have my conversation with my client, I'm like, look, when you talk to Miss Glenda, you tell her they say, well, Willie, you sure tell her everything.
We're not here to judge,
right?
At all.
And I want people to understand, like, when you're buying a home, everything's going to come out. So,
Everything.
and that's why it's so important to work with trusted people that you trust, because you are revealing a lot of information. It's very personal, and some stuff is good, some stuff is bad. But at the end of the day, we're not here to judge. We're here to get you. Our goal is to get you in the home. And I think that's the most important thing. I want everyone that's watching us to know, like, you're going to reveal a lot of information about, what's this on your credit? Or I didn't know you're making that, like, how much you make. All these things are personal things you wouldn't just tell anyone.
Right.
And that's why we're professionals. And that's why we love what we do. But that's the biggest thing I say, is just reveal everything, because you guys are going to find out. You're going to, I like to say y'all like the CIA. Y'all
we really are. And it's one of those things that, again, if we don't get it disclosed, all it could do is cause stresses and hurdles to a bad experience.
Exactly.
And the last thing that we want to do as lenders and real estate agents is to have a bad experience when all they would have to do is pick up the phone and say, hey, I changed my job, not thinking about it. I changed my job. What does that do?
Right.
Because the earlier we know about it, and if heavens forbid we're under contract, we can pull that contract out. We can get your earnest money back. We can protect you, the consumer and the client, if we know everything that's going on,
man. And I love it. It's very, to me, it's very similar, like a lawyer, like, client, like, you gotta tell your lawyer everything so he can represent you well. So that's why.
And it's all confidential. I mean, we can't go to Willie and say, hey, this is what's going on with this client. We have a due diligence, we have confidentiality, and that's why we are certified. Mortgage lenders that we have to take a test. We have violations that we get. And so that is confidential information that we hold to make sure we can get you to the finish line.
I love that. I love that. And this is one of the reasons why I hope this, if you haven't tell, this woman knows what she's talking about. She knows the ins and outs. And not only that, she's always doing videos and trainings, and just, your work ethic to constantly improve is just, it's infectious to me. You know what I'm saying? And I think, she loves doing videos. So thanks for, doing videos. It just works. So how, if someone was thinking about it, they want to get in contact with you as far as possibly talking about a loan, starting the process, where would they go to get that information from?
We're going to make it easy. It's 682-365-0816. Or most of my social media is the Mortgage Coach DFW. It's pretty easy. That is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It's all the Mortgage Coach DFW. Super easy.
Such a great name, because you literally are coaching people through this process. You're coaching realtors. I know you even work with realtors as far as developing them. And like I said, I still don't remember how we I think it was via social media. We both are social media people,
right? And
from there, you just connect with some people, and she has been a big part. So when you work with me, you'll probably be working with her. So that's normally how it would go. But I'm just so excited for the future and to do more videos like this. And we're going to keep them going. Like, we have more taxes to talk about. We have new bills. There's so much, the market updates. So we're going to continue to do more videos and do things like that. And like I said, make sure you reach out to her and ask all your questions. If you're looking for a house, looking to buy or sell in DFW, your boy Willie, the Realtor, has you. I'm going to take care of you, and we're going to make it happen. 214-801-5533. Social media is all the same as well. I think one thing, we both are very transparent on social medias, and we DM us, email us, like, stop us on the street, whatever. Like, what I'm saying? We want to, put that passion and work hard for you and serve you in this great community. So,
absolutely.
Like I said, thank you again for joining us. This is our show, man, for the end of the day. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure you share it to anyone that can find value in this. And we look forward to hearing from you, and we'll see you next time.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.